welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, and today in the arena, I'm doing my once a season look at a ridiculous blue-red ramp nonsense deck. It seems like every season I have to go and build one of these at least one time. Try to build something that just goes way over the top of the opponent and does really wacky stuff. This one started out as an Electrodominance deck. Electrodominance says X damage to any target. You may cast it you may cast a card with converted mana cost X or less from your hand without paying its casting cost. And the idea was I wanted to use a card like Electrodominance to play things at all different levels that would be good on the battlefield, but generally punish you for taking a turn off to play, and I wanted things that generated more mana. Hence, we got some Treasure Map and Power Stone Shard, Chemist's Insight to draw some cards, a Fiery Cannonade can sweep the board, and some extra points from Electrodominance can bump it up. The truth was, when I had a frickin' ton of mana, what I really wanted to do was cast Expansion Explosion, like a lot. So that's how this card ended up still being a 4 of in the deck. We also have Spell Swindle, which is a very fun card for gaining a ton of mana off of your opponent's sadness. Overflowing Insights and 4 Star of Extinction is how we kind of manage the board and keep the cards coming. And then on the very top, because 7s aren't enough, we have Omniscience and Apex of Power to really put things away. The deck wins by explosioning the face or burning out with Electrodominance, generating close to 20 mana thanks to the power of Power Stone Shard and Treasure Map and Spell Swindle. And in the mana base, we have some fun ofs, an Arch of Razka, exactly a fun of, but we also have 4 Zephyrian Voids to try to help us hit those land drops and get the right amount of just gas versus ramp versus all that stuff. The color requirements aren't that, I mean, there are a lot of like 3 and like funky color requirements to run Zephyrian Void, but Treasure Map helps with that a bit, and so does Spell Swindle, so. It hasn't been too much of an issue, plus getting that scry on does seem to matter quite a bit. We have 24 lands in the deck. We've got just, kind of this nice split between red and blue, 16 and 16, and 8 sorceries and 8 artifacts and 2 enchantments. So far, so good. It's definitely not a competitive deck. Do not go try to get to Mythic with it. But it can be very, very fun, and I hope to show you some proper shenanigans. A quick word from the channel about best of 3. We will definitely do more ranked best of 3 at some point in the near future, probably about the time right after War of the Spark is released, because I certainly want to work on that format for best of 3, and I'll definitely be sharing all the spiky competitive decks that come out with the new format in mind and the new cards. So that will be when you'll see a lot of best of 3. As we're winding down this format, it's pretty solved. Almost every deck I could show you in best of 3 is already had a video made about it and people are a little bit tired of. And like, for example, I could build a sideboard for this, but I know exactly what happens. I get into a game, I figure out what my opponent's playing, and I sideboard out my fun cards and sideboard in negates and stuff like that, and it just becomes like a worse version of the deck with a lot less cool stuff going on. So why do that? We're not going to do that. We're going to play the fun decks in best of 1, and then we're going to play the competitive decks in ranked, and once the new set comes out, we'll do best of 3 for that and go over sideboard guides and things of that nature for all of you competitive types with best of 3 on your bucket list. All right, let's go play some games today. Electrodominance, Treasure Map, Blink of an Eye, Insight. We don't have a Cannonade, might get run over. Turn 1 Terramander, cause yeah, that's what's up. So you got that Curious Obsession, or okay, good old Drakes. Good times. Talking about the Drake and nothing but the Drake. Terramander getting busy. Okay, well, this could be interesting. It all depends on if they have Spell Pierce in the deck. I don't know. And they draw it, of course. I don't know if it's even like remotely feasible to win. So I always take my draw off the top instead of scrying on the upkeep. Maybe always is a strong word, but I usually do. And the reason's pretty straightforward, that If I draw a Power Stone Shard, I want to play it and use the map that turn. But the opponent's already off to the races. It's going to be quite a ride for Electrodominance, and it looks like what we're going to need is something like a Star of Extinction to be in the game. We could bounce this Enigma Drake. We'll see what our opponent does here. That might set them back enough, make it worth my while. Okay, they throw a Terramander in the bin, they draw a card. It's a 2/4 now. And the opponent shocks my face. Great. Let's see if I can bounce this. I think it's enough of a tempo boost that's worth it here. Mwah! Back to the hand with you. Alright, we need some Star of Extinction action. What's this do? I mean, I can copy it. Like, I can play this for 2 and then copy it for another 2, but I don't think that does me much good. It is a really good card, though. Still, I feel like I need to draw better. I feel like it's too expensive, and I need to draw some stuff to play in this mid-game that we're in. Alright, another land is not exactly ideal, but we'll keep it coming. We'll have to decide whether or not we want to push the map or push the insight, and the mana boost from the map is often a lot better in this deck because of the way that Electrodominance and Star of Extinction and those cards play. So usually I'm going to push the map, not the insight. Drake returns. We still have 14, so our life total is reasonable. Let's get our map on. I think that's a bit more than I want at this stage. And my turn, and we'll get the map on the upkeep this time. We're well past the Power Stone Shard phase, and there's the star. That's pretty much what we want. Now, we could play it now, or we could Chemist's Insight. Again, if the opponent plays Spell Pierce, I guess I can play around Spell Pierce by waiting 1 turn, and that is probably the best thing that they could do to me. So yeah, we'll kick it back to the opponent, we'll Chemist's Insight, we'll get punched in the face, we'll make the Drakes go extinct like the Dinos did, drop a big old comet right on the head. Boom. That's the plan. And if the opponent counters it, well, sadness. More Drake. Yes, perfect. I'll Chemist's Insight now. And here comes Crackles. And my turn, our opponent tapped out here. Boom shakalaka. Hit him with that comet. And we'll see if the opponent can reset with another Drake. The bad news is that these threats get bigger and stronger every single time, so the Drakes get better and better. So you have to keep answering them. The good news is we have Electrodominance and Overflowing Insight to do some real nonsense. Of course, Dive Down, the opponent binning that means they probably have another one, although they didn't play like they had one. That's a good draw. Now remember, we can do this at instant speed. This is 8, 9, 10, 11. We could also get the Shard online. Let's put out a Power Stone Shard. I think that's fine. We don't have to be in a hurry yet. We've got plenty of things to do with our mana, plenty more cards to see. I'm also not in a hurry to sacrifice my treasures. If we get to Spell Swindle something this turn, that's great, especially like a Crackling Drake. Our opponent's on 18 life, so we're just working our way up. Let's throw the Swindle upon them. If they do run Spell Pierce, like, it is really outclassed at this stage. Dive Down can still be annoying, but Spell Pierce, I don't have to worry about that very much as long as I play smart. Alright, so do I draw a card? No, I like keeping my treasures around. I'll also even pay the 2 life here, so I can start Electrodominancing and Overflowing Insight for as much as possible. See what our opponent plays. Pass, pass. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Let's see, we can leave those untapped. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. Sorry, just gotta make sure. Double counting. I was up really late last night. I was playing Don't Starve together. It was legendary. I'm going to do it again tonight. literally stayed up till 6:30 in the morning, then I went to bed. It's about noon now. So if I'm running a little exhausted, you'll understand. And the opponent doesn't want to see what happens when I play Electrodominance, casting Overflowing Insight at instant speed. And I don't blame them. This hand doesn't have any ramp spells. It has Fiery Cannonade and Blink of an Eye. So I'll try it, but we might be in trouble if we don't draw our Power Stone Shards and our Spell Swindles and such. The ramp spells are pretty important to making Omniscience appear on the battlefield. Yeah, hello. What's going on, Overgrown Tomb? Green, black. Hey, that's not a Wild Growth Walker. Feel like I just won the lottery. Let's see, let's scry. Yeah, that's exactly what we want. Easy mode. But yeah, I would have bottomed probably another land or a super expensive spell there. You have to have an idea, I think, when you play the Void. If you have an option of whether you play a regular land or the Void, you should have an idea of what you want to scry for. What you would scry to the bottom. If you're playing it like, I don't know what I want, the odds are you're going to keep what's on top no matter what, and that's not getting good value out of your scry. Just a little tip. Little tip. You should have some idea of what you would bottom and what you would top if you decide to play a Void rather than a different land. Because you can always scry later when you have a better idea of what you want, whether or not you're getting flooded, whether or not you're not drawing enough land, things like that. Alright, map. Carry me. This card like frickin' carries this deck along with all other kinds of janky decks all the time. It's a pure jank machine. Like the jank formula, I think it was Ali Eldrazi. I think Muffin was telling me this. Muffin Pastry Pie was telling me this. Ali Eldrazi is just like you put treasure map and you just hold the jank together with it. You make the jank work. The opponent with a whole bunch of value cards here. It's interesting because these aren't in the typical Golgari list, but they might be in, say, a budget version or in some other Enter the Battlefield version. Let's go ahead and have a look at the top card. Yes. Yes, more map. Without question, more map. Now, I could cannonade this down. I think I can wait. I don't think I have to be in a huge rush. This isn't that much damage. Not a ton of pressure just yet, and we might get something else with our cannonade. We might also be able to copy it with Expansion Explosion and get even bigger things. And we still have a Blink of an Eye for something that's too big to deal with. Down to 13 from the value nonsense. Crawl Harpooner. Yes, more stuff. Everything's going to plan. It's all falling into place. Let's have a look with this map. I don't think I want the upkeep scry, but we'll see here. Ooh, the opponent's thinking about wrecking my map. Oh no. Don't touch my map. How am I gonna Omniscience without it? I mean, at least this way I get a land. So, with the ability on the stack, we'll go fetch a basic land. Ooh, Star of Extinction. Alright, we'll scry that to the bottom now. And we'll activate this one and try again. Apex of Power. Well, with Omniscience coming up, it seems like this is a really good card to keep. And the Fiery Cannonade still deals with the battlefield, so yes, in a pure flex move, I'm keeping Apex of freaking Power on top of my deck. Alright. We still need that map to flip, though. We kept 2 10-drops, for God's sakes. This could get so ugly. Alright, the opponent's going to try to move to combat. Now is the time to say goodbye to all your little friends. Hoi. Away with you. And is it time for, say, maybe 1,000 Eyes? Something cool like that? Or is it something very, you know, basic and good, like a Find Finality? It's a find. Keeping that sweet Golgari value train going. I might do the upkeep thing. It depends on if I put something on the bottom here. Alright, Harpooner's back. So, if I flip this, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's not 10. And it's not 9. I guess keeping the shard is fine because we need the shards to generate huge amounts of Banefire mana or Expansion Explosion mana. So we want those shards. So we'll take that draw. The opponent doesn't have Assassin's Trophy open, so I'm going to flip this right now. Another Cannonade. Seems good. And we'll pass. And next turn, the chaos will ensue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Here comes the pain. And what else do you do? You've got 7 mana. You got Vraska? Well, that's a bit obnoxious. You can blow up my Power Stone Shard, which I don't like that. I'd rather you didn't, you know? We could bounce it with the blink of an eye. Is that a good use of the mana? It's not the worst. Because, like I said, the shards are kind of a key part of the strategy to burn the opponent out. Mine. Alright, away we go. Get ready, everybody. It's about to get silly. Omniscience. Oh, does the opponent have another Assassin's Trophy? That'd be so sad. Alright, well, if I'm gonna put something on the stack, let's make it the most expensive thing before this gets Assassin's Trophied. Aw, nah! We got there. Alright, do I want the red mana to cast the star or the blue mana cast the insight? 2 Power Stone Shards too, that could get awkward. Let's go with the red mana. I'm trying to go with the red mana. Alright, so now we'll play this for 0. And this for 3 of our mana. Now remember, we have to spend mana to cast the cards that are in exile from Apex of Power. We don't get to cast those for free. But then once we have all this mana, right, we get to do this. Drop a star upon them.
Yesterday's your lucky day.
Now we play this for 0 and draw 7. And now the question is, can we make the blue mana again? And we can. I'll show you how. We're going to hit full control mode. We're going to cast a Fiery Cannonade with nothing on the battlefield for 0. We're going to cast a Spell Swindle for 0, targeting the Fiery Cannonade. And what that's going to do is generate the treasures that we need. So then we can go sack these for blue. The opponent is very impressed. Of course they are. How could you not be? And then we cast the Overflowing Insight from the exile from the Apex of Power. Can I keep my colored mana? No, I can't. I guess I took a step too far there. Alright, and then we'll go with a 0-cost treasure map. Keep the action coming. We actually don't have to do it all this turn, and we can't finish the opponent this turn. We can draw a whole bunch of cards with with this card. We have Spell Swindle up. We have a bunch of nonsense. Let's go ahead and there's no use for the 2 mana here, so we'll pass the turn. And we'll discard some of these islands that we don't need. All these land. And then next turn we should be able to generate enough mana to just Electrodominance. Vraska, yep. Spell Swindle, nice and big. Crank out a whole bunch of treasures. And we could go off drawing a whole bunch of cards with Chemist's Insight, but I'm going to try to be sporting about it and get this thing done. 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, bang. At some point this should just, yep, there it is. And we can put this on the stack just to be like, that's how Electrodominance works. And that's the game. Electrodominated. Our hand has some ramp, some draw, and a star. Let's give it a try. We're actually still a long way from the star, but who knows? We just need a treasure map off the top, and everything will be great. I'm going to get the tap land out of the way, so I don't have to shock later. But I definitely want to void. I don't want to keep any more expensive cards, really. What I want is treasure map, almost exclusively. Now, as for another land, I don't know. Especially a Shockland, I think I can do better. It's a little greedy to bottom, but I'm still going Power Stone Shard than Chemist's Insight, possibly. It would probably be better to have Spell Swindle available, so maybe that was greedy, but I'd have to Shock to do it. Johnny's Pridemate. Gonna have to Shock to do it anyway. Let's hold up a Fiery Cannonade and get rid of this thing before it gets too huge. It makes us take our time a little longer. We're not ramping as hard as we could be, but I really don't want to stand for this Pridemate getting too big. I mean, I don't know if you notice, these things get crazy. That is beautiful. That is exactly what you want to see against the Pridemate deck. The opponent with a nice, I mean, it's not really nice. It was rather rude of me, but I'm not letting them do the thing they want to do. But that's why Fiery Cannonade is in the deck so much. Stuff like that. So, what's the opponent got for a follow-up? They have a Bishop Soldier, so they're still working on that life gain. It'll take a lot of mana to burn them out. And they've got a Legion Lieutenant, so they've rebuilt. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, this is not even fair. This is so mean. I'm cruel and heartless CGB. So again, we're going to take this damage, because I think my opponent might play another creature that could get killed by the Cannonade, and if they don't, we could draw 2 cards with Chemist's Insight and kill all their stuff with a Star of Extinction. And they're going to pass the turn. Let's fire this off. Fresh cards, please. Yep, we've got the land. So now it does look like a Star of Extinction is a good possibility. We're almost to where we can do it at instant speed. Not quite, almost. And there's an Expansion Explosion, which I love for copying like the Chemist's Insight or just drawing a bunch of cards. So with this hand and this situation, I'm just going to start dropping stars. I've got 3 sweepers. So blowing up the opponent's land and setting them back a little works perfectly fine for me. Hit him with a Meteor. Get off the continent. And the Feast has been called, so now our opponent has some life and some 1/1s. I think I'll just leave this up and see what my opponent does. The plan is we'll either Chemist's Insight and copy it, or we will Spell Swindle something big if they go for something big, or we will Fire Cannonade their board if they annoy me. But if they're only attacking for 3, I'll take the damage and instead draw the cards. Alright, so what are we discarding? I hate it quite a bit, but I think it's Electrodominance. I just don't think it's that important. It could also be the Star of Extinction, but that takes out their last black source. Or it could be Spell Swindle. Our opponent's definitely playing around counter spells, so let's go ahead and, if they're going to play around it, let's get rid of our counter spell and instead draw 4 fresh ones. Hoi. Alright, land, city. How many more land can we get? Alright, it balanced out. It's okay. Everything is fine. Let's pass the turn and do another Chemist's Insight along with a Fiery Cannonade when the time is right. Alright, again, I'll take the damage. I really do want my opponent to play more into the Cannonade. And they are not going to. They're being very stingy. Okay, well, I can draw more cards. That's fine. Because once we get to like 10 mana Omniscience, Apex of Power, I'm not going to be very worried about their vampires. And there is a treasure map. Let's go ahead and deploy the map. We're about to have to discard a card, so we may as well do a Fiery Cannonade now. Hit the... I mean, it even shows vampires getting hit from the pirates, right? So, Flava. Moment of Triumph. Do I care? No, I don't care very much. It's fine. It's just a 1/1 after all that lives. Just because the opponent saves their thing doesn't mean I have to reply killing it again. This turn we'll probably work on flipping the map as much as possible. We could flash back the Insight, but I've said it before, I'll say it again. This deck in particular does want its maps flipped as quickly as it can. There you go. There you go. Let's draw 7, shall we? My turn. So we can Electrodominance Overflowing Insight at instant speed, so we don't have to discard right away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Looking good, looking good. We also do have to start chunking the opponent's life total a little bit. They're up to 39! It's going to take a lot of burn spell. And there is an Epicure of Blood, okay. So that will drain me once here. I don't want to get too much lower, that's for sure. Let's keep the map moving. Omniscience, yes. Excellent. So do I Electrodominance when I'm about to draw an Omniscience anyway? Yeah, it's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Bang. We're going to wipe the field with the Star of Extinction anyway next turn, so it's all good. And land for turn, and Omniscience. All right, and off to the races with this stuff. Get some Power Stone shards online, get some treasure maps online. We could go ahead and drop a Star of Extinction over here. All right, let's tap these for mana. Let's make blue. Oh, sweet. Sack for blue. Cast this. Discard a card. We got 2 cards coming. Let's not Expansion Explosion here. We might need it to burn the opponent out. 33 is a lot. We're on 24 cards left. So let's do the top 7 thing. Oh yeah. Let's make it red, I guess. We don't need another Omniscience. And I don't need this other Expansion Explosion to hit anything, but let's go ahead and drop more stars. And the opponent's going to scoop it up. They don't want to see how it ends. It ends with me getting my other 2 Power Stone shards out of the deck and casting Expansion Explosions for a lot after blowing up even more of their lands and creatures. All right, first time today I've seen double Power Stone shard in the hand, so let's roll with it and see if we can do some big mana things with the card. We're going to need another red source for Electrodominance. I'm putting some faith that I'll find it. Oh yes! The map. Bring me the map. Wonderful. Black-white doing not much. So I would scry a land to the bottom. So I'll play this. We're looking for big mana things. I know, it was the other red mana for Electrodominance, but the treasure map can fix that. Treasure map can take care of it. I believe in my map. My map and I are friends. We've come a long, long way together. So more lands to the bottom, and then on the upkeep we'll do the map scry again. And a star. Our opponent hasn't done anything. So I don't know if I need a star. I think I want big payoff. I want the Omniscience. I want the Overflowing Insight. That's what I want. So let's... Yeah, let's get the shard down. Again, the faster we flip maps, the better. So we're going to push the map plan. Our agenda of maps is what we're looking for. I wonder if our opponent's on like all removal or what. They're just... Maybe they hate mono red. I can relate. I understand this. I also hate mono red. Upkeep scries. Still don't need a cannonade. We're flying through the deck here. This is everybody's dream. Yeah, there we go. Hot. We'll be drawing 7 in no time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can Electrodominance for 5 and draw 2. I think it's a lot better here to simply play the Insight and hit our land drop, and then next turn cast the Overflowing Insight. And there's an Arch of Erazka. The deck is humming if you don't put it under pressure. It gets going. And we are going. Our opponent's going to Revitalize. And they'll revitalize again, saying, well, you're gonna have a hard time burning me. Well, that's not my plan. Well, it is. I just do it on a different scale than you're used to. More map. Yep, can't get enough map. Map is great. Map is life. Alright, so we'll push this for a blue. Tap that for colorless. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I guess I have one more than I need. Let's go Overflowing Insight, target myself. Oh yeah. Feeling it. Let's go with Power Stone Shard. That's going to be number 3. Let's go with a treasure map. Let's use our mana to scry. Another Apex of Power. Yeah, those will be fun. Those will get the job done. And we don't have to play our Scryland now. We can pass the turn over. How close are we to burning the opponent out? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And our opponent's at 26. All right. We've got a little bit of a ways to go. Sure, I will discard this island. All right, so we'll have to sacrifice a treasure to make 1 extra red here. And then after that, we can pretty much go to town. With Apex of Power, we'll resolve that. There's the Omniscience. Let's go ahead and make blue, since everything exiled is blue. And let's cast Omniscience. Hiya! How you doing? So let's exile with Apex of Power again. And we'll make this into red. So it looks like I have a really big explosion that I can cast. I don't think it's for 20 some, so I think we'll go there first. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Seems good. Pew and pew. And we're not sacrificing the treasures, and we have Spell Swindle available. Alright, we gotta empty our hand a little bit. We just got too much stuff here. We have another Overflowing Insight, but I don't want to deck myself. And I don't have like a bunch of trinkets here, so I'll just move to discards. I guess I can also drop a star on them. Just some land destruction. Alright, let's end the turn, untap, and then we can burn the rest of the way. Another thing I could do is Spell Swindle my own thing for 7, but that doesn't get me quite enough mana yet. It's close. I think if I had the last Power Stone Shard, I could do it. I guess I could Blink of an Eye my own Power Stone Shard. That would be a pretty sick play, but I'm already passing the turn at this point. I really just keep thinking that the opponent's going to leave, and I'm trying not to take too long because of how they're going to leave, but it's kind of what I'm priced into here. It's what the deck does. Ah, I missed an island. Misplay. Should have discarded it. Could have countered that. just playing savagely bad. I just want them to stay and see the end of the game. Alright. So if I play this, can I do this for 18 and we can see the big, like, fan thing? I guess there is some risk, right? The opponent very much could have Revitalize. So we should assume there are 21. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. How does it get so perfect? So now we lose to, or maybe not lose, but it's bad if there's Healing Grace. Resolve. Moment of Crave your own creature. Okay. I knew there was some nonsense, and that will do it. Jeez, oh Pete, this deck is wild. I'm gonna call it there for the day. This deck is very fun. If you have the wild cards or the collection, I would definitely recommend playing it or something like it. Just add treasure maps, power stone shards, and spell swindle, hopefully, if you have that card, and some card draw, and some fiery cannonades, and some huge expensive cards you don't get to play every day. You might get amazed at the fun that you can have. I definitely like to throw a thank you if any of my opponents from today watched the video. Thank you for staying, especially those who let me play out the win con. I really appreciate that. Also, on my way out the door, let me remind you about the War of the Spark booster box giveaway from FlipsideGaming.com. If you use the promo code CGB on FlipsideGaming.com between now and May 6th, and your order is for more than $10, you will get the following. 1. You will save 10%. 2. You will support the channel. Thank you. And 3. You will be entered to win a drawing for a booster box of War of the Spark just for the people who use the promo code CGB on FlipsideGaming.com. For all your Magic singles, supplies, and product needs, pre-order War of the Spark, pre-order Modern Horizons, get yourself some new sleeves. Dragon sleeves and stuff. All right. Thank you very much for watching this video. As always, I will see you in the next video. Goodbye. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, or leave a comment. You can also support the channel on Patreon for special perks. Links are in the description. Our sponsors are HauntedFlower.com and FlipsideGaming.com. Haunted Flower sells officially licensed MTG apparel and accessories, and Flipside Gaming sells MTG cards and supplies. You can save 10% on either site with the promo code CGB, and it supports the channel at the same time. See you next time for another day in the arena. For now, it's me, it's CGB, signing out.